The World Health Organization declared the spread of polio an international health emergency for the first time ever Monday, despite decades of efforts to eradicate the disease. At a meeting in Geneva, Switzerland, the WHO announced polio has reemerged in 10 countries, including parts of Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, over half of which were previously free of the degenerative disease. In particular, much of the finger-pointing went to Pakistan, Syria, and Cameroon, 3 countries which WHO says contributed to the spread of the virus internationally. The New York Times notes some of the more alarming statistics. In 2012, there were just 223 new cases of polio, the lowest ever recorded. Last year, that number nearly doubled to 417. Dr. Bruce Aylward, the man in charge of polio eradication at WHO, insisted countries take extraordinary measures to get rid of the crippling virus. Dr. Aylward told The Times, "Until it is eradicated, polio will continue to spread internationally, find and paralyze susceptible kids." Now, polio's reemergence is particularly scary because there is no known cure. The only way to prevent it is through immunization, and according to the New York Times, if Dr. Aylward had his way, every child in affected regions would get vaccinated. Same for adults who travel in and out of those areas. But a writer for Slate says that's easier said than done because vaccination efforts in those countries have been thwarted due to a number of outside influences. The collapse of Syria's healthcare system, or Cameroon's weak healthcare infrastructure and general fear of vaccines. And then there's the Taliban, who have attacked relief workers administering the vaccine in Afghanistan because they believe vaccines are a Western plot to sterilize Muslim children. WHO's announcement comes despite remarkable success with polio eradication throughout India over the past several years. A 2012 report in BBC said that in 1985, there were about 150,000 cases of polio in India. In 2009, that number plummeted to 741. That, of course, came with the help of WHO, UNICEF, and a guy with a pretty big pocketbook at Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The foundation's site claims global incidence of polio has declined by 99% since 1988, and that, with a concerted international push, the disease could become the second ever eliminated after smallpox.
We're at a crossroads. The world could eradicate polio, or we could see a dangerous resurgence of this virus, which would mean future generations in India would be at risk.
It's worth noting that no sightings of polio have occurred in the U.S. since 1979. For Newsy, I'm Jay Struberg.